The lighting is going to be weird. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live interview of the K.K.R.L.A. Musical Strikers team owner, Alex Alcala. Say hello.
Hello.
We have him here today, here to interview like we've done the past three owners, like Shaylin Jones, Cyrus Williamson, and Aidan McClanahan. This is potentially the last interview before the season might be able to start. I'm not sure. But we're here to ask him a couple of questions. What do he plans to do with the season? And let's go ahead and get started with the interview. All right. So first and foremost, why did you pick the Musical Strikers as for you to own a team, own their team?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a good name and a good team to be a part of.
Okay. What do you plan to do with this team?
With this team, try to make them go up the ranks and probably make them better.
Okay. We love to hear that from the coach themselves. Let's just quickly look at last season. Last season, it was a 2-4. You were the team was ranked number 11. Let's hear your personal opinion about that.
Number 11.
Number 11.
We can always
there's 12 teams.
Oh. We could probably step up a little bit our game and just do better, that we push ourselves and grind.
Okay.
And move up the ranks.
All right. And in the losers bracket, season 1, you went against the Cuckoos of Shea, and the Cuckoos of Shea beat your team. Well, it wasn't your team at that point, but personally, how do you feel about that?
I can say that the Cuckoos of Shea is a good team, but it's a good team, and we're okay.
Now,
losing.
Sorry.
We're okay losing against them, but we can always learn from our mistakes.
Okay. The Cuckoos of Shea last season were ranked number 12 out of the 12 teams with a 1-5. Now, I'm pretty sure that their coach was pretty happy when they won the game against it was either the number 1 or the number 2 ranked Kena Gamers, and they won that game. Personally, how do you feel about that? That number 12 ranked team winning against a number 1 or a number 2? I can't truthfully remember the rank. How do you feel about that? And do you think it sets some standards for your team?
I mean, it's a bad I don't know how to say this, but
do you think it's
losing against a ranked number 12 is kind of like a
bad look for the team?
Yeah, bad look for the team.
Okay.
But as I say, we can get better and learn from our mistakes.
Okay, so if I scroll back here on the information about your team, last season your team was in the preseason ranked number 10, and then overall your ranking shot down to 11. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it just one rank down. I mean, it's not that bad if you think about it.
Okay.
But we could always move back up depending on the situation.
Okay. So, looking at the K.K.R.L.A. Season 2 preseason rankings, we look at your team, and it's currently ranked number 11. So, do you think, personally, that's an understatement, overstatement, or do you think that just fits right?
Can you repeat that again?
The Season 2 preseason rankings lists your team at number 11. Do you think that is a overstatement, understatement, or do you think it just fits right?
Understatement.
An understatement. So you think your team should have personally been ranked higher?
Overstatement.
So an overstatement. You think your team should have probably been ranked lower, number 12?
I mean, not low.
Okay.
But like.
So personally, do you think the ranking fits your team?
Not really. We could have done better.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the talk about the K.K.R.L.A champions. The number 7 ranked 8-bit legends in the post-season tournament, the play-in tournament. They were the lowest ranked, and they won the championship overall in season 1. Do you think that sets some pretty high standards for some low-ranked teams? That even the lowest could win it all?
Yes.
Okay. So we look at their regular season. They had a 3-3 record, 3 losses and 3 wins. In game 1, they lost to the Kina Gamers 2-1. And then in game 2, they won against the Dafts 2-1. And then in game 3, they lost against Kina Club 3-2. And then in game 4, they lost against the they won against the Third Strikers 2-1. And then in game 5, they won against the Beat Tapes 2-1. And then in game 6, they lost against Kina Club 5-3. Let's hear your statement on that.
I mean, it's not bad for a rank 11 team that we lost to some of the good ranked teams. But also,
I mean, just to revise, this isn't your regular season. This is the 8-Bit Legends. But also, if we look in the play-in tournament round 1, they won against the Third Strikers in a 1-game series, 1-0. And then in round 2, they played against the Song Mixers, and they won in the 3-game series. They won in 2 games. They won the first game 1-0, and then they won the second game 2-1. And then they moved over into the postseason semifinals, which is a game of 5. Now, I'm just going to spoil it already here. They went to 5 games. So, Kina Club beat them 2 times in a row, 3-2. And then in game 3 of the semifinals, they won 2-0. And then again in the semifinals, game 4, they won 3-2. And then game 5, they won 5-4. And then moving on into the postseason not the semifinals, but the finals, where it's a game of 7. The Kina Gamers only had 1 win against them in that whole entire tournament, winning 2-1. And then they would go on to lose the next 4 games, 6-5, 4-2, 5-1, and 4-3. Now, do you think this sets a pretty high standard for those teams that have not just a pretty number in their rankings?
Wait, can you say who we're talking about? What team are we talking about?
The 8-Bit Legends, K.K.R.L.A champions.
Oh, okay.
I'm just personally asking, does this set some pretty high standards for some low-ranked teams?
Sure, why not?
All right. Let's move on into your schedule. You play the first game. No, you don't. I was reading another team. You play the third game of week 1, which is against the Sokina Producers. How do you feel going against that team?
I mean, the Sakina Producers, what rank are them?
They are rank. If I scroll down here, they're rank number 4.
I mean, if we lose, then it's okay. We respect that. If we win, I'll be pretty happy for our team.
Okay. Then we go into week 2. Week 2 and week 3 are the Kina Invitational weeks, which your team wasn't invited. How do you feel about your team not being invited to the Kina Invitational?
Not pretty great, but we'll probably get it next time.
Okay. So if we look at the teams that are in the Kina Invitational, we have the 8-Bit Legends, the Non-Beaters, the Sokina Producers, and the Beat Tapes. If you could choose one team that you would take out of the Kina Invitational and put your own team in, which team would you take out? The 8-Bit Legends, Beat Tapes, Sokina Producers, or Non-Beaters?
I'll probably say Non-Beaters.
Okay. I mean, if the non-beaters were taken out and your team was in there for the actual Kina Invitational, that would be the 4 teams that are in the Kina Invitational would be owned by people. That would sound pretty cool, but let's move on. Just saying week 2. You have the first game of week 2 against the Mouses. And their rank is number 6. How do you feel about that?
Rank number 6. We could probably probably beat them and probably move on. But if we don't, again, we respect it and we can just keep going.
Okay.
Keep grinding.
There now here we look at week 3. You have the second game of week 3. You play against the Mouses again in week 3.
Oh.
So it's basically a rematch.
Oh, okay.
We look into week 4. You play the last game of week 4 against the Third Strikers. Now their preseason rank currently is, let's see, number 7. Now remember, these ranks can change at any point. But just how do you feel about going against that team?
Pretty okay. I mean, again, we respect if we lose.
All right. Here's another crazy thing for week 5. You play against the Third Strikers again.
We can. Okay.
How do you feel about these rematches just coming into your schedule?
I mean, it's kind of like another start. Like if we lose, if we lose the first time, we can probably win the second time.
Okay. Now we look into week 6, the last week. You go against K.K.R.L.A, and they're currently ranked number 1 overall. So how do you feel about going against that team?
I mean, to be honest, it's okay if we lose. I mean, it's a higher rank than us. And they're probably better than us.
All right. So we're looking. Okay.
Just go on.
Okay. Now we're gonna ask about the week. How do you feel about the weekdays that your games are on? Now, your first game is on a Wednesday. How do you feel about that?
On a Wednesday, I mean, it's like depending on the time. If I'm not busy.
Okay. Week 2, you have it on a Monday. How do you feel about that?
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Then week 3, you have it on a Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And you have it week 4. You have it on a Saturday. How do you feel about that?
A Saturday, sure.
All right. And then week 5, you'll have it on a Friday. How do you feel about that?
Good.
All right. Then week 6, you have where are you? I gotta find you. You have it on a Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. How do you feel about? Do you think your team could potentially make the postseason tournament this year?
Sure.
All right. Is there anything you want to say to the viewers before we end our interview here?
No, I'm okay.
All right. Is there anything you want to say to your team?
That no matter how many times we lose, we can always get better and learn from our mistakes.
All right. Thank you so much, Alex, for taking your time and interviewing here with us on the Sokina YouTube channel. We thank you for coming out, viewers, and watching this video here. Alex Alcala, the owner of the Musical Strikers. Hoping every team does good, hopefully in their own season. Thank you so much, Alex, for being here and taking your time with us. Well, without further ado, that's it. Thank you all for watching.